Hello! Um, Thanks for clicking on this video and watching it with me while I struggle. Okay, so my mobile app project is about Lucidchart. So Lucidchart is a website slash app that is basically more, the main focus is collaboration with several people all at once, and it allows people to be all on the same dock or all on the same whiteboard, which is what we're going to be talking about today, all at once, and work all at once so everybody can see each other's work. Sorry, the glare in my glasses. Okay, but I need to see, so we're just gonna keep them on, and hopefully you guys don't get too annoyed. Anyway, so this is Lucidchart. So I did a step-by-step on the signing in process and everything, but since I'm already logged in, I'm just going to explain it real quick. So here is the main hub. Before I get to the main hub, I would have to sign in. This is my sign in right here. Lucidchart has subscription-based levels, but there is a free option where you have like a certain set amount of Lucidcharts or projects that you can have. I believe it's 3. And after that, you have to pay the subscription. But I've used Lucidchart before in my SI class. It's gone pretty well. It's very much business driven, but you can use it for your classes just as easy. It doesn't have to be just for business and for streamlining business projects. You can use it just as however you want. It's a blank slate. So to sign in, first you would want to make an account. You can use like your Microsoft account or your Google account or your Apple account. It's very easy. You just sign up real quick. Make sure you click the free option so you don't have to do the trial and pay some random charge. You do the free option, and then it's going to bring you it's going to ask you certain questions like, are you a student? What are you using this for? I chose student because I'm obviously a student. But you could choose how you would want to use it, and it's going to streamline the process for you, and they show you options that will help you in what you're trying to do. So obviously I'm a student, so I have the student streamline. So after I do all of that, I am brought into the main hub. This is the main hub. Here is my little practice thing I made for the written directions, but I'm gonna make a new one for you guys, and so we can walk through it together, all together on this video. Okay, so to do that, to make a new board, I'm gonna click here on new. I'm gonna click Lucidchart. You can create from a template, but I'm just gonna do blank document because it's better off to start with a blank slate. Now we're gonna get to this loading little thing here. And now it's going to bring you here. So this is a little different than what I would do. I typically do the dotted graph, the dotted, I don't want to get too confused here, so I usually do the dotted graph. Here it looks like this is just the regular mathematical template here. So I'm gonna see if I can go back and fix that real quick. My documents, templates. See, I don't want a diagram. I want a blank board. So I'm going to new Lucidspark blank board. Sorry about that. You do want a Lucidspark. You want a blank board, just like I did here. So now it's going to reload. Let's pretend that whole 10 seconds didn't happen, and now we're here. Okay, so now it comes up with this whole templates things that could really help you if you want to like streamline your experience here on the Lucidchart app / website. So if I were needed a roadmap for some reason, I could find it here, and then it'll automatically just render it for me. If I need a daily stand-up, I have it right here. I also have brainstorming, which would be very handy for not only just like business, this is primarily, you'll see if once you ever go on Lucidchart, this is primarily for business reasons, but you could also definitely use brainstorming for English or writing papers. mind maps as well. You have meetings, you have plannings, you have the whole 9 yards here, and this is all free for you to use. But I am going to make a blank one, and we're going to start with a blank slate. I'm just going to click out of here. So this is the board. You can scroll out, scroll in. This here is our toolbar on the left. Up here is the title and your saves, the changes that were saved. I'm just going to rename this title to Practice Run. Bam. Perfect. Now it's going to save that for me. Perfect. All right. And then down here, up here is going to be where we can find our timer, voting. So if you are working with multiple group members and you're trying to decide on one topic that you want to talk about for your project, you can have a vote for it. You also have private mode, just in case you don't want people seeing you work on it and you don't want them to pester you with comments. I don't know entirely what you would like to use that for, but they do have that for you. You also have the collaborator hub here. You can do different colors for your collaborators so you can know who's who. You can show the author's names. It'll show up on the cruiser. And then there's also the chat. Here you can have the comments if you wanted to add a comment. I don't need to, but here are the comments if I would like to. And then here you could do presentation builder. You can record your process of working on the board. And then you can also share, which is probably the most important for Lucidchart, because again, this is for you to work with multiple people all at once. So I'm going to click out of here because we don't need your subscription. Okay, now what do we want to do? So, for instance, if I wanted to talk about postmodernism in my class, and I want my students to start thinking about what we talked about in class during the lesson, I can do this. So I copy and pasted this image earlier, but this is a pretty direct, helpful little diagram about what is postmodernism, and you can go read it over yourself. But here the students would see this at the very beginning, right? This, and theoretically, I'm making this part first before I share it with the students so they can come into this fully prepared. But now, since we're doing it one-on-one, I'm just going to do it with you. So now we have this image, right? Okay, so we're talking about, what are we talking about here? We can be talking about pre-modern, modern, and postmodern. So I'm going to make a title. My title I can use right over here with the text tool. I can stretch the box out right here, and it'll pop up right here. I now have the options of changing the font and doing all these customizations to it. I'm going to make the font a little bigger so we can see it. I'm going to go up to 48. I'm also going to do a little bit of a fun font. We're talking about postmodernism, so let's see what it comes up with. I'm going to type in post-modernism. Whether the hyphen is there or not, I don't know, but it's there now. Okay, so now there is no denying we are talking about postmodernism because we added the title using the text tool on the left on the toolbar. Moving on. So now, okay, so I want to ask my students a question. Also, some side tips for selection. Sometimes when you want to move around, it doesn't really just do it right for you right away. So here are the the legend for the how to get around the whiteboard. So the select is the V on your keyboard, pan, which is like to move around, is H, to expand is X, and the laser pointer is Z. So I need to pan around, so I'm going to push H, and now I can go like this. Nice. So I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. I want to ask my students a question now. I'm going to go back to select. I want to ask my students a question now. My question being, first, how am I going to ask my question? I'm going to get rid of this text box. How am I going to add my question to the doc? So we're going to do that with the sticky notes. Sticky notes is going to be found right here on the left. You have a bunch of awesome color options to use. We're using postmodernism. We're talking about postmodernism. postmodernism is generally pretty depressing and dark, so I'm gonna go with this little khaki color. Yeah, khaki, so we can see what we're working with. So now I'm gonna add my post-it by just stretching it over here onto the whiteboard itself, and boom, now I have a post-it. Okay, now I want to type my question. So how am I going to do that? You don't have to click the text box tool again. You can just double click the box and it'll pop up with the cursor there. Perfect. So now I'm going to for symmetry's sakes, I'm going to try to keep within the theme of the font, and my question is, hold on. Okay, we're back. My question is, what makes... Hello? Okay, so for some reason my ad blocker just popped up. Anyway, we're back on topic. So we can add GIFs, we can add images. Let's see if I can find another image for us. It's just going to show you that page. I'm going to try to find another image. For the students who are a little bit more artistically inclined, I could find art that belongs to the postmodern era and related to that. Again, like looking at this, you can see like, oh wow, like this is an image, but it's dissected and completely deconstructed, and we can have a conversation about that. So I can even add another post-it. I'll add another post-it and be like, this image being this artwork, I should say, from the, oh my goodness, if I could type today, that'd be great, from the postmodern era, represents the complete destruction of structure of reality itself, which was generally going on in that time. And again, so I can make sure that we know what we're talking about, I'm going to connect another arrow. Oh, excuse me, stay right there. I'm going to connect an arrow. So we aren't confused here. We get what we're doing. Maybe it's easier to go right here. Maybe it's easier to go this way. I don't like it like that. There we go. Let's do it that way. That way. There we go. Perfect. There you go. So there's no confusion. So if you still feel, look how big. This is all that room that we have, but we can zoom in and do what we want, right? If you still feel there's just too much going on, there's too much chaos, it's too much, you can use the organizers tools. So organizer tools include frame, paths, containers, dynamic tables, regular tables, timelines, and a mind map. So mind maps kind of are like, excuse me, mind maps are kind of similar to looking to, where did it go? Oh, right there. Similar looking to like, well, something you would typically see when you're brainstorming, right? You just want to kind of jot your ideas down. So I'm trying to edit it here. So just back to select tilt. There we go. So if I wanted to, instead of like doing the post-its and everything, and I were a student, I could use this tool to jot down what my prompt is asking me. So say I'm the teacher and I give them a prompt. I want you guys to write an essay about post-structuralism versus postmodernism. I'm going to put that here. Structuralism versus postmodernism. Two different things, right? Very complex eras, very complex topics, right? That's my topic that's the prompt for them. I want them to write about, right? So if I'm the student, I'm gonna write whatever I know, right? To get those thoughts going. I can't, okay. Oh, my little camera just went away. I hope I'm still going. I think my webcam turned off for a second. So sorry. I'm sorry this is so long. Okay, but we're moving on. So if I were a student, I want to jot down some of my thoughts, I could go like this. Postmodernism is complete destruction of structure. I'll type something over here. Post-structuralism doesn't destroy structure, it breaks it down. So the argument being, obviously, that post-structuralism recognizes that there's a structure, which is why it can be broken down. Postmodernism recognizes that there is no structure and it's just complete chaos. I can use that option to organize. If this is something down here that isn't your cup of tea, excuse me, I'm trying to pan down here. If this is too chaotic for you, I think it's okay for me, but it's not gonna work for everybody else. You could use these organizer tools right over here, where you'll find them right here. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add some more things so I can make this more aesthetically pleasing for myself and the students, by using the GIFs. I'll have another GIF here. I'll do SpongeBob, that'll be nice. SpongeBob and Patrick up to their shenanigans once again. And I'll put that right here. Or I can put it down here, you know, I have space. I can also add emojis. I'll just add a random one. Oh, no, just sad. We can add sad for chaos, sure. It's really small, so we have to kind of zoom in and enlarge it ourselves. But again, how like, imagine how easy this would be with multiple people working on this. And again, how you would want to do that is this little share option, where you could give, again, it's just like, it's similar to like Google Slides and like Google in general, where you have to allow them access, but you would put their emails in, or you can make a shareable link, share the link, and whoever has a link can edit and share it. Typically, that would probably be the easiest option, where you can just send it to in a mass email to everybody. But yeah, that's how easy it is. And then once they do that, you have like all that work is split up, and it's easier than tracking down everybody and be like, this is the pen, this is the pen. You can just do it all virtually. Okay, I also want to make sure that we talk about that there is AI in this. You can definitely use it as a tool. So I'm going to do that. Generate ideas. Let's see what it does. If I wanted to generate an idea about postmodernism, oh, excuse me, it went away. Generate ideas. Postmodernism, critical theory. Let's see what it comes up with. It's a pretty niche thing, but let's see. And it did it for us. That's really impressive. So typically I wouldn't want my students to like use AI in but I wouldn't say it's off limits, because you can use it to kind of make a launching point, and they can do their own research based off of these launching points. It's a good start. I don't want them to use it entirely and that's it and that's all I see on this page. No, it's a good start. And it's very interesting that it's all here for the students to do and use, so they don't have to go to like ChatGPT or all these other sites. It's right there for them, and now they can just take decentralization, plug it in with postmodernism, the author's name, whoever we're reading, and decentralization, and boom, they'll be starting their research much easier and much faster. Cool. Okay, so I don't want to take up too much more of my time, but this is, or our time, this is Lucidchart, and I hope that my rambling made sense, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.